I'm going to assume everyone here knows the story of the Lord of the Rings. And you know how the council came together to decide on the fate of the ring. They decided that the ring had to be destroyed in Mordor. And in this case, the ring represents MSP lead generation. And destroying the ring in Mordor represents completion of the MSP lead generation. And what the council decided is that they would get a bunch of little hobbits and they would walk them to Mordor through the orcs like the most complex way possible to try to destroy the ring. And this is what MSPs do because MSPs believe that MSP lead generation is really, really hard. Like destroying the ring is really, really hard. So they're trying to do it the most complex way possible, just not thinking about how to do it intelligently and, addressing all the fundamentals. When Tolkien was asked, hey, why didn't you just put the ring on one of them big birds and fly the big bird to the volcano, to Mount Doom, and just drop the ring? Tolkien said, let's not talk about this, right? And that is really how I feel about MSP lead generation. Once you know how to do it, it's very similar to just grabbing the ring, putting it on one of the birds, and just flying it to Mordor and just dropping it, and boom, it's done. MSP lead generation is really not that hard, but every MSP pretends that they need to be a hobbit and walk it through 10,000 orcs to drop it manually inside a volcano, right? But it's actually a lot simpler than you think. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be dedicating this channel to teaching you a lot about MSP lead generation. In this video alone, I am already going to introduce you the first key concepts that you have to understand. Okay, so why can you trust me? So my name is Louis. I'm the founder of MSP Launchpad. We've been doing this for a long, long time, half a decade now. We're pretty good at what we do. You can check out our testimonials page. There's case studies. We've recently got our first referral from ConnectWise, which I thought was pretty cool because I haven't spoken to anyone at ConnectWise ever. So the fact that they started recommending us is an honor, honestly. And this is us. So we're very good at this, and I can show you what leads look like, and I'm just going to walk you through how MSP lead generation works, going to transform your brain and turn you into a lethal MSP lead generation specialist. Why am I going to be doing that? Well, there's two reasons. So the first one is that I, as an entrepreneur myself, am really passionate about learning how to do things first and then delegating, right? Because I think that's the best way to grow a business. If I know how to do it, then I can effectively train someone else, and then poof, we go to the next level. And because I have that belief in that system for myself, I also like to teach that to other MSP business owners, because if they know how to generate leads for their MSP, then they can train other people and they can grow indefinitely, right? This is the way, guys. This is the way. If you know how to generate your own leads, then you can train your team and your MSP will grow to infinity. I'm particularly passionate about that. Of course, you can hire us and we'll do it for you, but it's not my passion. My passion is teaching you how to do this. So the second reason that I'm doing this is also because this YouTube channel is a great lead generator for ourselves, obviously, right? Because if I give you ton of value on this YouTube channel, you're going to be generating your own leads. And then at some point you might think like, actually let me outsource it to MSP Launchpad because I've grown my company through their advice. So clearly they know what they're doing and their advice is solid, right? So it's for these two reasons. So that's basically what I'm going to be doing. That's what this channel is for. I won't make videos all that regularly, so you can safely subscribe and turn on notifications. Suggest you just do that right now, because then whenever something comes, at least, YouTube will put it somewhere for you, like, hey, look at this, and then you can grab some things that are really high value. Okay, so I won't keep you any longer. Let's just immediately dive into the material. Google thinks that I am currently in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So let me see. IT support near me. By the way, we work with US, UK, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, all major English-speaking markets. Why am I typing this here, right? So let's think a little bit about how your prospects shop. We're going straight into the material here. I hope you're ready. I'm going to now teach you a critical MSP lead generation fundamental. And the fundamental lesson here is your prospects probably shop the same way as you do, because people have very similar shopping habit, right? It's just how we're wired. We like to do things similarly. We're all humans. you could reflect, I'm not saying you should, but you could reflect on how you shop, right? When is the last time that you bought anything off of a cold call, right? It's probably been a while, right? Or maybe never. And the same for cold emails. How long has it been since you bought anything off of a cold email? Probably also been a while. I'm not sure if there are any local businesses in your area that have newsletters. When have you bought anything off of a newsletter off of a local business? It's probably also been a while, or also maybe never. So if you never shop that way, then what makes you think your prospects are, right? It's very unlikely. I never do that. Your friends probably never buy anything off of cold calls or cold emails. You're coming from a network of entrepreneurs. If no one shops that way, then why don't we try optimizing for the way that people shop instead, right? That seems to make sense, right? What if we just take the process of how people actually buy things and we make that every step along the way, we come out on top? You know, in every city, there are a few mechanics that pick up all the business. There are a few restaurants that are always full. In every city, there are a few companies in each industry that scoop up all the leads, and that is because they optimize their online presence just according to how people shop, which is through Google Maps, etc. So what I've done is I have typed IT support near me, and you can type all sorts of things, right? Whether it's small business IT support, managed IT services, depends on your market. In the UK, no one knows managed IT services, so IT support, it depends on the country. So just think about what your prospect would type. Right now, Google thinks I'm here. I'm typing this. You can try this in your office, by the way. If I'm typing IT support near me, Google is going to think like, okay, he wants to do business with a business, so I need to show him the little map, right? And here it is. So Google is going to place this little map higher, the clearer your commercial or transactional intent. Like basically, the more clear it is to Google, you want to buy stuff. Of course, on the top, you're always going to have the ads, and then this thing shows up. Now, if I was your prospect and I would be looking here, by the way, I would be looking here because no one uses this to shop anymore. Like, do you still open these links? Probably not, right? So neither do your prospects, by the way. Everyone goes here, or maybe these first few links here on top, because this is also nice and beefy. Like, this is a good ad. But if your prospect looks here, or if you would look here, are you going to investigate the company with one review, or are you going to investigate the companies that have 20 and 30? Probably you're not even going to open this one. So that is already a hardcore reality check. If you don't have enough reviews, no one's even going to look at you. You're dirty, you're nasty, you're trash. And even though you have the best MSP in the world, if you've never prioritized just getting enough reviews, literally everyone will just decide that you're not worthy of looking at. And while that is not true, it is how the world works. And as marketers, as business owners, we sell what the market wants from us, plus we sell according to how the market behaves. Okay, so here we go. I'm not even going to look at this guy. Here we have these two things. I'm probably going to take a look at this, but also we're going to play the game, right? We want to zoom out a little, and we want to mouse over these things because, you know, we all like the game of like trying to find those gems, you know, with the right distance from us and the right amount of reviews. But let's take a look. Go a little bit further. So here we are, and we're going to play that game, which your prospects will also do. Because if someone's living in the city and they want an MSP, which is a long-term relationship, then of course they want to get the best deal, the best partner. You would too. If you go out for dinner, you're going to find the best restaurant, most reviews, the kind of food that you like, high average rating, same for mechanic, you're trying to find the best mechanic. When your prospects want to find an MSP, they want the same. Surprise! So they're going to do this, and as they're going through this process, they're going to think, so here we have Medicus 36, 21 skipping over, 9 skipping over, 5 skipping over, 11, no, this is residential, 13, bad, 2, computer services also sounds residential. RescueCom, maybe with 10. 17 for computer solutions, 78. Outsourced IT solutions. Okay, so let's start opening some up. So here we have Medicus IT, and then the computer butler. I'm not really sure what this is, and neither would your prospects, right? So we're going to go through here, and then we're going to try to see, like, hey, is this just residential, or are these guys actually for B2B relationships? And this seems to be more... I mean, this is confusing to me. So if I was a prospect, I would just not go with this. I would just find something else. Business Solutions, Fort Lauderdale, Managed IT Services, KB, Managed IT 11. Let's go with that. But because here, 17, okay. Because what are we trying to do? We're trying to figure out which companies are in the area that could be our MSP. By the way, the reason I'm in Fort Lauderdale is because I love this market. I don't have a customer here, but I analyzed it once and it's completely underserved. Like, this is a great place to start a new MSP. But you can see how, wait a second, 80, nice. But you can see how your prospect would do the same, right? Because you also do this when you want to go out for dinner, get a mechanic, get a lawyer, whatever. If you're going to find a local business to do business with, you're probably going to mimic this process because people want to find something that's not too far away, that has a nice amount of reviews and a high average rating. And that is the first filter. You see how we just filtered all these companies and we made a small selection of companies we're going to investigate further? That is exactly what your prospects will be doing also. So you need to make sure that you have enough reviews, because otherwise you're dead to your prospects. And it doesn't matter how nice your website is. If you don't show up here, people aren't even going to find your website. That's the reality. So everyone's always like, oh, you need a new website. Yeah, really? Maybe later, right? Let's fix this first. Otherwise, no one's even going to find you. I mean, how many restaurants and how many mechanics have the worst websites on the planet, but they still get a ton of business? Why? Because they do this well, and then the website doesn't matter as much. Okay, so now that we've done this, then what's your prospect going to do? Clearly, he's going to read the reviews because he wants to figure out whether, you're a pure MSP, what is your value proposition, what are you good at, what makes you stand out, are you a good fit for them? So they're going to go and read this because these people who are looking on these terms, they can be 10 endpoints, they can be 30, 50, 100, 200. So they're looking for different things. If something is really cheap that can be appealing to another company, and the other company might feel like, I actually want something that's expensive. So people are just going to try to find their own fit. And they're going to take a look at the pictures. And why are pictures important? If you go to an Italian restaurant or whatever kind of restaurant, if they don't have pictures of the food, you won't even go because it's too risky. With a mechanic, if there's not any pictures, you probably wouldn't even go because you don't know where your car is going to be. It's too risky. And if there are no pictures of the team in an MSP's profile, also becomes pretty risky because you want to see what kind of team you would potentially be entering a long-term relationship with, right? Makes sense, because this is like for a 10, ideally for life kind of relationship. Of course, your prospect wants to see who they potentially be entering in an agreement with. So they're going to go through here, go to the reviews, make their little selection, and then let's say that they kill a few. This one's pretty good. Let's say this one, and then I'll just kill this one. I mean, I'm not saying that's the worst one, but you know how people go through this filtering process. And then what happens? Then they go to the website. So what does that mean? We essentially have multiple filters that are part of the selection process, right? So first is distance and quantity of reviews. But then that filter after that, now suddenly it's what's inside the reviews, and it's the pictures and how much can I trust these guys. And they're going to cut off a few more MSPs there, and then they're going to go to the website of just a few MSPs. So website's actually a little bit further down in the chain. And then, okay, so website. And of course, they can type different search terms, managed IT services, and so on, right? But just to kind of like explain and teach you this. And of course, you know this because you do this as well. But I found that whenever I explain this, MSP business owners really appreciate it. Okay, so now we end up on the website, and I want to give you some perspective. Let's say that you're trying to get your car fixed, okay? And you go to the mechanic's website. And let's say there's 3 websites, and there are 2 websites, and they just, have their phone number and their email address, and they say like, look, we fix cars, and there's all these stock images, right? So you don't actually get to see the garage or the people, and they say we fix cars and we have a lot of customer retention and we're quick, and there's all these stock images and there's lots of text. So those are 2 websites. And then there's a 3rd website that says everything that you want to see and hear. So what would you want to see and hear when you trying to get your car fixed? Well, I would probably want to see the garage. And pictures of the team, nice, optional, but I really want to see the garage. That's really important to me. And again, this differs per industry, but we're talking about mechanics now. And I would also want to read something like, look, we have plenty of mechanics always standing by. So if you call us right now, there's a very good chance that we can fix your car today. And you could just bring it over. We have the coffee ready. We can take a look at it immediately and let you know how much it's going to cost. If we can't fix it, then we won't charge you. Plus, if you want, we can organize a taxi home, or we have a rental for you, and we do price matching. So if you can find it cheaper anywhere else, then will also match that offer. That is like an insane offer. This is so easy for me. There's zero risk. I can come immediately. There's someone standing by, and it's all fantastic. It almost sounds too good to be true. But now you have to remember that I found this company because they have lots of reviews and they have great pictures. So I come from this foundation of trust, and now it's mixed with this amazing offer. And I'm like, I get it. This is why they're getting all the good reviews. It's because their offer is so amazing and they're actually backing it up with their actions. And then, of course, I call these guys because I can get my car fixed in like an hour. Plus, I've seen the garage and hopefully even some of the people. Plus, there's an amazing offer and I know I'm going to get good value for money. So just like that, you really want to figure out what your prospect would want to read if they enter your website. What is the information they should see straight away? So if you optimize your buyer's journey like that, and you make sure that whenever someone in your area, somewhere, whatever, like in any kind of range here, whenever they go and they look at all the competition and they do their analysis, that you come out on top every step of the way, then you're going to get the majority of the leads in the market. And that is basic inbound lead generation for MSPs. Of course, once you've got this dialed in, you can expand to other cities, you can run Google Ads, there's all these other things that you can do. Why would anyone do business with you if there's zero social proof, everything looks nasty online, and they haven't heard any other kind of good things about you before? Answer is they wouldn't. And that's why most MSPs don't get any leads. If you get this completely dialed in, now also if you want to do something else like cold calling, which I don't want to smash right now, but not the biggest fan of. If you want to do any other kind of lead generation efforts, then if people look at your website and they look at your presence, at least they can see that you're the best in the city. You know, newsflash, people want to work with the company that gives them the best deal. And the best deal is subjective. That can be value for money. It's a combination of factors, actually. It's a value for money, it's trust, it's reputation, it's whatever's included. It really depends on target market fit. But people always, without exception, you, your neighbor, everyone in your network, me, we always want to find the best deal. If you can make yourself the best deal in your market through SLAs and guarantees and so on, then you're going to get a lot of business. But you need to make sure that you pass all the filters and that they come on your website and they can see your offer and that you have a good target market fit. Don't target everyone. 10 to 200 endpoints is too large of a range, too many different problems. You want to find a subset and you want to be really clear about that. So in this channel, I'm going to teach you all about this. I'm going to help you just optimize these things. It's so much simpler than you think. And you can imagine like, hey, if I just set this up once, then there's a very good chance that other MSPs is going to take them a while to do this better than me. More reviews, more better. And that means for that entire period, you're just going to get leads. And this is something that a lot of marketing agencies will never do for you because it's hard to negotiate with an MSP that they need to have an amazing offer, need to work on reviews and so on and so forth, right? So most marketing agencies, they just skip that because it's painful, but that means you'll never get results. You also understand that this needs to happen if you want to have strong lead generation for your MSP. On this channel, I'm going to try to teach you a lot, and I'm excited to have you with us. Click subscribe and set your notifications on if you want. I hope to see you on some of these videos, and if this was helpful to you, say hi in the comments, whatever. I've actually never done this YouTube stuff before. If you got value from this video, I'd really appreciate a comment because I just like hearing from you. So I would appreciate that. Hey, thanks a lot and look forward to hopefully seeing you on some of our content. Take care. Bye.
Whoa. Look, they can never keep me down, I'm going. And if I ever fail, just know I'll go again. I never quit, cause I know that every loss may lead to another win. I'm going up.